Hello and welcome to this 10-minute yoga flow. Grab your mat, some water, and if you're practicing outside today, be sure to protect your skin from the sun's rays. I love this Factor 50's light texture and it's my go-to for outdoor activities, like yoga on the beach. Now we're ready to practice and soak up the positive energy of the sun. Grab your mat and let's get started. We're going to make our way to a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, plant the hands into the mat and draw your hips back to your heels for a child's pose, resting the forehead gently onto the mat. Taking a few deep breaths here. Find yourself creating some space across the middle back and breathe deeply into that back body. Take your right hand and stack it over the left hand and press the left hip even deeper into the mat, finding a nice side stretch down the right side body. Gently draw your hands over to the opposite side, the left side, and stretch out the left body. Making your way steadily back to the center. Start to roll up through the base of the spine, all the way back into that tabletop position. Drawing the center down towards the mat, let's find a nice cow pose. Reaching the chest forward and pressing backwards and contracting through the spine. Find your cat pose. Let's invite some movement, slowly making our way through a cat-cow. And hold the top of these positions a little deeper. Let's start to invite some movement all the way to the front, drawing the chest forwards. And then reaching the hips all the way back to the heels, stretching that spine out long. Maybe close to your child's pose. Once we get there, rolling up through the spine again. And imagine yourself as a wave of the ocean. Inhale, taking it to almost upward dog. Exhaling on the way back to your child's pose. Just take a few more of these. Finding where it feels good for you to hold. And let's go ahead and take our first upward dog. Start to draw the thighs off the floor by pressing the tops of the hips, the top of the feet into the mat. Go ahead and tuck those toes. We'll draw the hips up to the sky for our first downward dog. Gentle bend of the knees. Maybe even starting to pedal out the feet, stretching those heels into the ground. The last few. Then go ahead and bend those knees, draw them 3 inches off the mat. We'll find our beast pose. If you need to readjust those arms, making sure they're right underneath the shoulders and the knees right underneath the hips, please feel free to adjust. We're going to hold right here, squeezing into that core and inviting some long deep breaths. Then pressing the heels into the mat. Find that downward dog, lifting the hips. Go ahead and gaze to the top of your mat and maybe walk, stepping the feet one by one all the way up to the wrists. Take either elbow and let your upper body be nice and heavy as we take a nice ragdoll pose and just moving intuitively left to right, finding those spots, maybe to hold a little deeper or move through it. Bring your hands down to the mat. Let's find a halfway lift, stretching out, lengthening the spine, and folding all the way forward to release. Let's take a chair pose, bending into the knees, sinking the hips back, reaching the arms towards the sky, working to straighten out that spine, to find a nice lightning bolt shape. Breathe. Forward fold to release. Halfway lift, creating space in the spine. And step back, we'll take our first vinyasa, bending into the elbows, reaching, shining the chest forwards, coming to the top of the feet. And when you're ready, either tucking the toes, reaching the hips all the way up to the sky. Pressing those heels deeper into the mat and lifting those hips even higher towards the sky. Gaze towards the hand. This time maybe try a hop towards the hands. Making your way back into that chair pose. Find that nice strong shape. And draw the palms up to the sky behind you. Maybe rise into the tips of the toes, holding to find the balance for our flying chair. Palms up to the sky, last reach. Forward fold all the way down, hands to the mat. Pedal out the feet a little. Then step, hop or float back into your vinyasa, bending into your chaturanga. Shining the chest forward, upward dog. Pressing those hips back, downward facing dog. Make your way onto your knees this time and walk the hands forward on the mat and melt that heart all the way to the ground. Draw the chin to rest on the mat, and if this is too much, go ahead and fold the forehead to the ground instead. Deep breaths. Now rolling through the spine, let's make our way into Sphinx pose. So drawing the hips to the mat and shining the heart forward, gazing to the sky, finding those elbows slightly underneath the shoulders, pressing up for our Sphinx pose. Fold all the way down to the mat. Draw those hands to the side of the chest. We'll go ahead and bend that right knee, taking it all the way up and over the body as we stretch the left hand out to the side and fold to twist to our broken wing. Making your way back through the center, let's prepare for the other side. Bringing the left hand back, let's stretch the right arm long, out in line with the shoulder, bending the left knee this time. Lift and take it all the way over to the right side of the mat, touching the toes down to the mat and deepening that twist. Take a few more deep breaths. And make your way back to the center. Drawing the hands back to the center line, shake out the hips left to right a few times. And then draw the hands all the way behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Stretch those palms all the way back. Maybe the chest starts to lift off the ground, shining the heart forward. You may hold here or start to bring one leg and then the opposite leg up off the mat and really reaching those limbs to the sky. Fold forward to relax, release the hands, bring them to the base of the shoulders, tucking the toes underneath and stretch all the way back into our child's pose. Untucking the toes, sink even deeper into that child's pose. Just as we did in the beginning, draw the hands over to the left side, stacking the right hand over the left. Then drawing those hands over to the opposite side of the mat. And back to center. Roll up through the spine into a nice kneeling position. Let's go ahead and sink to one side and swing those feet out in front of you. Come to the center of the mat and grab hold of the back of the thighs, creating length in the spine. We're going to go into a boat pose here. So slowly start to lean back, then lift one leg and the other leg 90 degrees in the knee and reach those arms forward. Be sure to keep length in the spine, core's nice and tight, and don't forget to breathe. Maybe for the last few counts, you'll begin to straighten out those legs and slowly place them all the way down. Make your way all the way down onto your back, finding a nice Savasana, starting to relax every muscle in the body and just beginning to find that nice deep inhale through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Savasana. Start to bring some gentle movement back into the body, maybe the fingers, the toes, ankles, making your way up through the legs, moving into the hips. And slowly make your way onto one side, find a fetal position, nice and cozy. And press your way all the way back up to a nice comfortable seat. Draw those palms to prayer position in the middle of the chest. The light in me sees the light in you. Take this beautiful restoring energy with you today and have a great day. Namaste. Thank you for joining this beachside yoga flow. The sunscreen is Prozis and you can order yours with the link below. Thanks and namaste.